What if I told you that some of the most legendary heavy metal stars, artists who defined generations with their music, riffs, and stage presence, ended up losing everything? Not because they weren't talented, not because they stopped performing, but because the industry, bad management, personal choices, and the chaos of fame consumed them. Today, we're counting down 20 heavy metal legends who went from sold-out arenas, screaming fans, and platinum albums to empty bank accounts, debt, and financial ruin. These are the stories rarely told. 20. Nikki Sixx. Nikki Sixx, Motley Crue's notorious bassist, became the poster child for rock and roll excess. Beyond his legendary stage persona, Sixx battled drug addiction, legal troubles, and reckless spending that drained his fortune. Despite millions from albums and tours, poor investments and impulsive habits pushed him toward bankruptcy. His 1987 near-fatal overdose became a turning point, forcing a stark reckoning. Today, Sixx shares his cautionary tale, emphasizing that fame and wealth are fragile. Even iconic rock stars aren't immune when self-destructive behavior meets financial mismanagement. His story is a testament to both survival and the harsh realities of rock and roll living. 19. Dave Mustaine. Megadeth founder Dave Mustaine reached thrash metal's pinnacle but faced financial chaos. Legal battles, disputes with record labels, and lavish spending drained his earnings, leaving him scrambling to pay bills. Mustaine's meteoric talent wasn't enough to guarantee stability. Mismanaged royalties and personal conflicts compounded the problem. Tours and albums demanded constant investment, intensifying financial strain. Near bankruptcy forced him to confront harsh realities about the music industry and personal responsibility. Mustaine's story warns that even world-renowned musicians are vulnerable. Wealth can vanish almost overnight when poor decisions, high living, and industry unpredictability collide in heavy metal's high-stakes environment. 18. Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, became a global heavy metal icon. Yet financial disaster loomed. Years of mismanaged contracts, legal battles, and substance abuse costs left him near bankruptcy despite fame. Lavish spending on homes, cars, and parties outpaced income, demonstrating that superstardom doesn't guarantee security. Reality shows and album deals helped, but Osbourne's journey revealed how easily fortune can turn to ruin. His story shows that even enduring legends are vulnerable when indulgence meets poor financial oversight. Survival, not just success, became his battle. Osbourne's life is a cautionary tale of wealth, fame, and the consequences of unchecked rock and roll excess. 17. Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads, Ozzy Osbourne's virtuoso guitarist, left a lasting musical legacy but faced financial vulnerability. Mismanaged royalties, delayed contracts, and poor advice left him and his family exposed. Touring costs, recording expenses, and personal spending created economic strain. Tragically, Rhoads died in a plane crash in 1982, leaving both unfinished projects and unresolved financial matters. His story illustrates that talent alone doesn't guarantee security. Musicians navigating contracts, tours, and lifestyle costs must balance artistry with business. Rhoads' untimely death amplified the harsh reality that fame, talent, and wealth rarely coexist without careful financial management, making his legacy both inspiring and cautionary. 16. Vince Neil. Vince Neil, Motley Crue's charismatic frontman, exemplified 1980s glam metal excess. Hit albums and sold-out tours couldn't offset extravagant spending and legal issues, including fines, accidents, and criminal charges. Lavish purchases of cars, homes, and high living rapidly depleted his fortune. Even after achieving millions, impulsive decisions and poor planning pushed Neil toward financial ruin. His story highlights the thin line between rock god and bankruptcy. Superstardom doesn't protect against reckless behavior, and Neil's experience serves as a cautionary tale. In heavy metal, fame, fortune, and excess often collide dangerously, showing that lifestyle and financial literacy are inseparable for lasting success. 15. James Hetfield. James Hetfield, Metallica's rhythm guitarist and vocalist, faced early financial turbulence despite the band's massive success. Mismanaged royalties, delayed contracts, and extravagant touring costs created strain. Focused on music, Hetfield trusted advisors who sometimes mishandled funds, leaving him vulnerable. He learned the hard way that artistic talent doesn't automatically protect against financial instability. Metallica's resurgence combined music mastery with lessons in fiscal responsibility. Hetfield's journey shows that even rock superstars must manage income, spending, and investments carefully. The story serves as a reminder that in heavy metal, fame alone cannot secure wealth, and mismanagement can turn success into sudden financial chaos. 14. Lemmy Kilmister. Lemmy Kilmister, Motorhead's legendary frontman, epitomized rock and roll excess. A love of alcohol, fast living, and high-stakes touring made him iconic but financially vulnerable. Mismanaged royalties, costly tours, and indulgent habits often left him living paycheck to paycheck despite decades of commercial success. Lemmy relied on fans and friends for support during tight periods, showing the precariousness of fame. His story proves that even a rock icon's empire can crumble when lifestyle and finances collide. Survival in heavy metal requires resourcefulness as much as talent. Lemmy's life underscores the delicate balance between artistic brilliance and financial prudence. 13. Dimebag. Darrell. Dimebag Darrell, Pantera's guitar virtuoso, dazzled fans with riffs and stage presence, yet financial insecurity loomed. Behind the scenes, mismanaged royalties, band agreements, and personal spending decisions created instability despite success. High touring and recording costs often outpaced income, forcing careful financial juggling. His tragic death in 2004 left unresolved obligations for his family, amplifying the consequences of financial mismanagement. Darrell's story highlights that talent and adoration alone don't guarantee security. Heavy metal's demands, combined with poor oversight, can leave even the brightest stars vulnerable. His life is a sobering reminder of fame's fragility and the importance of fiscal responsibility. 12. Rob Halford. Rob Halford, Judas Priest's dynamic frontman, faced periods of financial strain despite fame and commercial success. Costly tours, personal indulgences, and mismanaged royalties created instability, while legal disputes and health challenges compounded the problem. Halford's flamboyant persona masked real financial pressures, showing that even revered icons are not immune to monetary challenges. His resilience allowed him to navigate these hurdles, but the story warns that artistic skill doesn't guarantee security. Metal musicians must balance creativity with fiscal oversight. Halford's journey illustrates that behind the leather and metal theatrics is a human navigating wealth, responsibility, and the harsh realities of a high-profile career. 11. Tony Iommi. Tony Iommi, Oi Dimine Domami, Black Sabbath's riff architect, faced financial turbulence early despite legendary status. Mismanaged contracts, royalty disputes, and costly productions threatened stability. Iommi prioritized musical innovation, investing heavily in tours and studio work, often at the expense of financial security. Even global fame couldn't shield him from expenses and legal wrangling. His experience underscores that pioneering musicians remain vulnerable to economic realities. Heavy metal's creativity comes with high financial stakes, and Iommi's story demonstrates the importance of balancing artistry with fiscal responsibility. Even architects of the genre face monetary challenges behind the legendary riffs and stage spectacle. 10. Kerry King. Kerry King, Slayer's ferocious guitarist, achieved acclaim yet faced financial instability in early years. Mismanaged royalties, high touring expenses, and band-related costs drained resources. King's dedication to music sometimes overshadowed financial planning, leaving him vulnerable despite success. Legal disputes over publishing and earnings further complicated matters. His experience shows that talent alone doesn't ensure long-term financial security in heavy metal. Even revered performers can face bankruptcy without oversight. King's story is a cautionary tale for musicians balancing fame, touring, and complex business deals. Heavy metal requires both artistry and strategic management to survive and thrive. 9. Bruce Dickinson. Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden's iconic frontman, combined energy, skill, and charisma, yet financial turbulence was never far behind. Costly tours, ambitious productions, and personal spending often strained the band's resources. Mismanaged investments and complex record deals exacerbated challenges, demonstrating that fame doesn't guarantee stability. Even global icons are vulnerable to monetary collapse. Dickinson's story highlights the need for financial oversight in careers defined by spectacle and touring. His journey proves that wealth can vanish quickly when artistry, personal choices, and business collide, showing that even legends must navigate heavy metal's economic volatility carefully. 8. Sebastian Bach. Sebastian Bach, Skid Row's former frontman, experienced meteoric success followed by financial setbacks. Lavish spending, mismanaged contracts, and costly tours created periods of instability despite his fame. Income fluctuated unpredictably, showing that stardom doesn't automatically protect against financial peril. Bach's eventual recovery underscores resilience, but highlights how quickly fortune can turn in heavy metal. His story demonstrates that talent, charisma, and fan devotion don't eliminate vulnerability. The music industry's unpredictability demands careful planning. Bach's career is a reminder that even celebrated performers face economic challenges, emphasizing that fame and skill must be paired with savvy money management. 7. Vince Neil. Vince Neil's Motley Crue fame brought anthems, tours, and worldwide recognition, but financial recklessness shadowed him. Lavish cars, parties, divorces, and legal settlements drained his fortune faster than album sales could replace it. Even with ongoing side projects, Neil faced debt and near bankruptcy. His experience underscores the harsh reality. Charisma, talent, and stage presence cannot shield against poor financial decisions. Heavy metal's lifestyle, while glamorous, carries risks for fortune and security. Neil's story is a cautionary tale, illustrating that rock stardom requires discipline beyond the stage, and that fame and spending excess can collide with devastating consequences. 6. Dave Mustaine. Megadeth's Dave Mustaine, thrash metal pioneer, faced repeated financial crises. Substance abuse, contract mismanagement, and extravagant touring costs drained resources, forcing him to rebuild wealth multiple times. Legal battles and band disputes worsened the situation. While Mustaine created some of metal's most celebrated music, financial instability often followed him. His story demonstrates that even extraordinary talent can't guarantee security. Wealth is fragile when combined with industry volatility and poor decision-making. Mustaine's journey illustrates the precarious balance between musical genius and economic survival, reminding aspiring musicians that fiscal prudence is as essential as creativity in sustaining a legendary career. 5. Scott. Ian Scott. Ian, Anthrax's relentless guitarist, endured decades of metal success, yet financial stability remained elusive. Mismanaged royalties, lawsuits, and unpredictable record deals created ongoing strain. Personal spending choices and touring pressures compounded instability. Fans saw sold-out shows, but behind the scenes, income could fluctuate dramatically. Ian's experience emphasizes that longevity doesn't guarantee financial security. Success requires careful oversight as much as musical skill. His story highlights a key lesson in heavy metal. Even household names must navigate contracts, expenses, and investments strategically. Ian's career demonstrates that the road to legend status is as much about fiscal savvy as it is about riffs and stage presence. 4. Zakk Wylde. Zakk Wylde, Ozzy Osbourne's guitarist and Black Label Society founder, faced financial turbulence despite legendary talent. Costly side projects, instruments, and touring expenses often exceeded income, creating precarious situations. Mismanaged royalties and unexpected taxes worsened instability. Wylde's story proves that even metal royalty isn't immune to financial pitfalls. Fame and skill may earn admiration, but without careful oversight, fortune can vanish rapidly. Wylde's experience underscores a universal truth. Heavy metal legends must manage both artistry and economics. His journey highlights the challenges of sustaining a career while balancing creativity, personal choices, and the financial realities of a demanding music industry. 3. Nikki Sixx. Nikki Sixx's life of excess brought fame, fortune, and chaos. Parties, substance abuse, and wild spending drained his wealth repeatedly. Chart-topping albums and stadium tours couldn't offset financial mismanagement and legal troubles. Personal setbacks and extravagant lifestyle choices created recurring crises, pushing him toward bankruptcy. Sixx's story exemplifies heavy metal's double-edged sword. Superstardom elevates, but recklessness can destroy. His journey illustrates the fragility of wealth in rock and roll. Even iconic musicians must balance talent with responsibility, showing that living large can come at a severe financial cost, and survival often depends on learning from past mistakes. 2. Dee Snider. Dee Snider, Twisted Sister's rebellious frontman, faced financial volatility despite global success. Contract disputes, lawsuits, and mismanagement drained resources, while personal expenses compounded strain. Behind the leather and theatrics were months of uncertainty and stress. Snider's experience demonstrates that heavy metal stardom doesn't guarantee stability. Even iconic performers must navigate unpredictable economic currents, balancing fame, touring, and business. His story serves as a cautionary tale. Talent and charisma can't replace careful financial planning. Snider eventually regained stability, proving that resilience, savvy decision-making, and awareness of industry pitfalls are crucial for sustaining a long, successful career in metal. 1. Rob Halford. Rob Halford, Judas Priest's metal god, commanded stages worldwide, yet wealth often eluded him. Mismanaged royalties, high touring costs, and personal spending created financial strain despite decades of success. His story illustrates that fame is fleeting and fortune can vanish without oversight. Halford's journey highlights a universal reality. Even legends must manage money prudently to avoid ruin. Behind the leather and spikes was a human navigating contracts, taxes, and lifestyle expenses. His experience shows that artistry alone isn't enough. Surviving heavy metal requires careful planning, financial discipline, and awareness of the industry's unpredictable economic landscape. And there you have it, 20 heavy metal legends whose journeys remind us that fame and screaming crowds don't guarantee security. It's built on management, choices, and the chaos behind the curtain. These artists lost fortunes, royalties, homes, tours, and in some cases, everything they spent decades creating. Yet their music still roars. Their stories deserve to be heard. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden struggles of metal's icons, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Drop a comment. Which metal legend shocked you most?